You don't understand how fucking long I've been waiting to film this video. But I put it aside and waited till October so I can film it because, you know, like Halloween and all those other scary shit. So I just thought it would fit perfect with October. So bitch, I'm finally able to tell the story. Hey guys, welcome back to Louie's Life. So for this week's video, I'm going to be talking about the paranormal shit that happened to me when I was really little. So these stories that I'm about to tell you did not all happen in one day. These were multiple different times and days. But I just thought I should put it all in one video because I was really little when this happened to me, so I don't remember everything in detail. But obviously I do remember like the big things because they're scarred in my fucking head. So while growing up, I thought that everything that happened to me in that house was all a dream because that's what my mom told me it was. That's what she made me believe because I was really little and she didn't want me to get freaked out. She didn't want me to get paranoid, like, you know, all these things. So she did it to protect me. And my whole entire life growing up, I always thought it was a dream until maybe like last year she told me what really happened and everything. So when she told me, I got really fucking scared. I remember the moment she told me, goosebumps went all the way up my ass. Like my whole body just felt cold. Like I felt like, oh fucking dear Lord, like just knowing that the things I remembered were real really fucking scared the shit out of me because I was like, holy fucking shit, I actually experienced these things. And I've never really talked about it with anyone because like I said, I always thought they were dreams. And now that everything pretty much makes sense, I'm gonna make a story about it because holy fucking shit, the shit that happened to me was crazy. In my opinion, like to experience this was fucking crazy. Okay, well to start off, the house I lived in when I was really little was a 2-story house. It was a pink house that was an alley. And mom told me that when she moved into that house, they experienced a lot of like paranormal shit. But my mom thought she was just being paranoid and she didn't really take it serious. So she told me that a lot of things would happen, like she would hear noises, she would hear like people walking up the stairs at night, she would hear like scratches on the wall, and she would always make excuses for it like, oh no, it's just the wind, oh no, there's an animal, or maybe the house is just really old. Like she never wanted to accept the fact that there was something wrong with the house. And it wasn't until I guess the things started getting really serious where she told the landowner what the hell was going on with the house. And then the lady told her this, that before we moved in there was a bunch of people who lived in that house, like a bunch of ladies. Like a bunch of ladies just lived in that house, and I guess the bitches did witchcraft. Just gonna drop that on there. They did fucking witchcraft. The lady told my mom that when they moved out, that they just moved out unexpectedly, like they didn't say shit. Like next thing you know, they left everything on there, like all their furniture, their beds, like everything was still in the house. And in the room that my parents sleep in, that there was candles all over the floor. Like it wasn't even a room. It was like it wasn't even like a bedroom like to sleep in. It was just like a room where they would do like their fucking crazy voodoo witchcraft shit. So she explained to my mom how in the room there was candles set up everywhere, like on top of furniture, all over the ground, on the window, on the walls, and that in the middle of the room there was like a big circle with the fucking demon witchcraft possessed thing circle on it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a picture of it right here. That's pretty much what it looked like on the ground, and that there was wax all over the ground because of all the candles they used. But she just explained to my mom how she thinks that's why there's a lot of shit going on in the house, but that supposedly before we moved in, she called like a priest or something to like put holy water all over the house and that we were good to go because Jesus was on our side. Well, guess not, because I fucking got possessed. So that's a little background story on the house I lived in when I was little. Basically, there was a bunch of bitches who did witchcraft and liked to possess and sacrifice people in there, and I lived in there. Great way to start my childhood. Okay, so one of the things I remember the most from living in that house, the thing that haunted me and just I couldn't believe was fucking real, and one of the things that my mom tried her best to brainwash me into thinking that it was just a dream. So when I was little, I remember sleeping on the floor because I did not like beds as a little kid. I would always sleep on the floor and everything kind of felt like a dream. And all I remember was like feeling my body being lifted up, and I didn't think much about it at the moment because it literally felt like as if my parents came in to like pick me up with their hands. Like it literally felt that strong, and I could just like feel it in my back, like something literally lifted me up and picked me up off the ground. And I remember as I opened my eyes, I was not even on the ground anymore. Like I was up in the fucking air. And while I was being lifted on the air, I couldn't scream, I couldn't blink, I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, as if like my fucking spirit or something came out of my body. I just felt like I was able to see through my body but not move or anything. Like I had no control over it. I just felt like I was like I don't even know how to fucking explain it. I just pretty much had no fucking control over my body. I couldn't move or nothing. I was just fucking floating in midair. Ay, fuck me, dude. This really scares me just speaking about it, because if this were to happen to me right now, I'd probably fucking cry. Like, oh, fuck, my heart. I just can't even talk about this. And like the next thing I know, I start slowly coming down and then I just get dropped. And as I get dropped, I feel like as if someone punched me in the back and I was able to breathe. Like I felt like everything was back inside of me. Like I could move, I could scream, and like everything just came back to me as soon as I hit the ground. I felt like a punch in my back. And as soon as that happened to me, I ran into her room screaming and crying, telling her everything that happened. And my mom didn't seem so shocked about it, more like scared and worried, not like, what the fuck, you're crazy, like you're stupid, this not happened. And that's when I remember her talking to me about how it was just a dream. She was trying to comfort me, telling me how it was just a bad dream, how none of it was real. And I believed her because she's my fucking mother. Obviously I'm gonna believe everything she tells me. And I never spoke anything of it because I always thought it was just a fucking dream. And I honestly thank my mom for that, because if it wasn't for her brainwashing me into believing that it was a dream, God knows how the fuck I would be living my life. I would have probably been fucking paranoid. I wouldn't like going outside. Like I just wouldn't have had a normal childhood because I'd just be scared about all these things. Another thing about my house was, you know that vibe you get when someone is staring at you like from a distance or like behind you, and you know, like you usually feel someone staring at you and you turn around and you catch their eye and they actually are staring at you. That's how you would feel all the time in my house. Like you would always feel like there was someone staring at you when there was no one around you. Like if I was in my room by myself, I felt like someone was staring me down in my room when I would fall asleep. And I wasn't the only one that would hear this. My older sister would too. But my older sister, we still talk about how when we would fall asleep, sometimes we would wake up to loud as like thumps like on the wall, like boom, and we would just like jump. And we both heard it. That's how you know it wasn't a fucking dream. We both heard it. In our little hallway before you enter our room, there was like this little piece of our ground that I guess was like weak. So every time you'd step on it, it'd go like it was like a weird like noise, you know? But while we were sleeping, it would be like 2 or 3 in the morning. Like you would just hear that noise, like sometimes it would even wake us up because it was really loud, or it was just going back and forth like. So it was always like as if someone was there, like behind our door, like on the other side where the hallway is at, and just like watching us. Like, oh fuck, that really scares me, like just thinking about it as a little kid. Like, because I would share rooms with my 2 sisters, so it was all of us kids like in one room. So it was really easy for something to just like fucking take us if they wanted to, you know? And that was just fucking scary, just hearing that little creak sound and the thumps and then the, like scratches on the wall and like all this shit just, and like you would always just have a bad vibe when you were at my house, like always. And this one time, it's this one thing I remember, like it's like marked in my head, and I remember because I saw it at the same time as my older sister saw it. But me and my older sister were like best friends when we were little. Like we had such a great bond. We still do, but I mean like as kids, we literally saw each other as like friends. We decided to have our own sleepover with each other. So my parents bought us like this inflatable mattress and they put it downstairs, and we just bought like a bunch of snacks, brought a bunch of movies, like, you know, like a fucking typical sleepover. So everyone slept upstairs. My little sister and both my parents were sleeping upstairs while me and my older sister were sleeping downstairs just watching movies. So this all happened in our living room, and right next to our living room we have our kitchen. And in our kitchen there's like this door with a window on it, and that door leads to our backyard. Me and my older sister were watching a scary movie, and we both heard like a knock on the door. Oh, I fucking hate talking about this, I'm sorry. I probably scare you guys when I do shit like that, but it just really scares me when I talk about it. Like it gives me goosebumps. It fucking terrifies me because of the fact that we both saw it, so I know it wasn't fucking fake. We were both watching scary movies, and I remember hearing like this knock on our backyard door. And it wasn't like a boom, boom, boom. It was like a really quiet knock. Like really quiet, but loud enough for us to turn around and see it. And I remember I fucking turned around, and I remember seeing whatever the fuck was there. And I looked straight into my sister, and my sister heard, she's like, did you hear that too? And I said, yes. She heard the knock as well. So then we both turned around to look at the fucking door. Holy fucking shit. And I know we both saw it. we both fucking screamed and got under our fucking blankets. Like, it was so fucking scary. I remember turning and seeing like a person standing like with, oh fuck, my hands are even shaking because I get really fucking scared talking about this. I remember seeing a guy or like a person or something standing in the window like with both their hands and just looking at the viewfinder like really scares me because I remember, and it makes me want to shit myself because it looks like the same way I'm explaining it. Okay, so like we looked and we both explained it to each other how it just looked like there was a man with both his hands looking inside our window. Oh my god, I don't even know if, like, to this day I don't know if it was like a fucking demon or something or if it was an actual person, but all I remember was like a face, like it was like really fucked up with like blood on it, as if like someone like beat this person up. Like, it was just fake. Like, I don't even know how to explain it because I was really little, but I do remember this face being fucking scary as shit with, and the hands were like claws, like almost as if it was like almost as if it was like a monster, but like a person wearing like Halloween like gloves and like a mask or something. But it wasn't like that because it looked fucking real. And we both got under the blankets and we both started crying and crying, and we didn't want to come under there until my parents came running down the stairs when they heard us, and they turned the lights on and everything, and they picked us up and we were both screaming and crying. And I remember when my parents carried me upstairs, I looked back and you couldn't see it anymore. Like, whatever we both saw was no longer there. When we went into my parents' room, we both explained what the person or thing looked like, and we both explained it exactly the same, with like hands and like long nail looking like claws and shit with like blood. And it was just fucking scary, and knowing that we both saw it really tripped me out because I knew that I wasn't the only one who saw it, which means it was real, whatever the fuck it was. So that's all the stories I'm gonna be talking about in this week's video. Please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Let's try to get it to 5K likes. I know we can do this. And if you want to see a part 2 to my paranormal shit, let me know in the comments below and I will make another video, because after all this paranormal shit started happening in that house, we moved into a different house thinking everything was gonna stop, but it only followed us there. So in that house I moved into, a lot more shit happened. So if you want to hear the rest of my stories dealing with paranormal shit, let me know in the comments below and I will make sure to make a part 2 to this video, because trust me, there's a lot of other shit that happened and went down, and it only gets scarier and scarier as I tell the stories. So I will film that video if this video gets up to 5K likes, and like I said, let me know so I know you want to hear it. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace. Bye guys.